Hello and welcome to this tutorial video. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to take a landscape from a photo, like a mountain range, a beach, or in my case a roadside, separate it into many different layers, and also using the clone stamping tool to make sure that when you've taken those layers out of the image that the background still looks unedited, as you'll most likely want to use the layers that are obstructed by something in the picture. Separating an image into multiple different layers can be helpful for bringing stuff into After Effects. It's very useful also for creating a kind of perspective parallax effect in After Effects. The idea of taking 2D assets and elements from Photoshop, just taking it from an image and moving it in 3D space to make it look like objects are closer than they are. Enough about my project, let's get into the tutorial.
First off, you want to open up Photoshop and load your image in. Now you want to think about which layers you're going to split up. From this image I can see the road, also the pavement, and also you can see which elements get in the way and that we need to smooth over. The wall, gate and bush, and then finally the lamppost. Firstly, I'm going to start off with the easy selection of the road. Easily just use the selection tool to grab this layer, copy and paste it, and make it on its own layer like you see here. Then next we want to move on to the lamppost and start selecting this with the polygonal lasso tool. Just slowly going around and making sure I've got all of the lamppost. I'm going to speed this up for the sake of the video, but you get the point. Now that we've got it selected, I'm going to cut it out on one layer and then copy and paste it on another layer. This is so we can clone stamp one layer in order to get the background or the pavement. As you can see, we now have the lamppost and the road on separate layers. Now we're going to move on to clone stamping the obstructing elements in order to select and create separate layers for the wall and the pavement. One of the tools you can use for this is the patch tool. If you just draw a selection around the bit you want to remove, or at least pattern differently, you then drag in the middle of your selection and it will change your background to something wherever you drag it. And then we can clean it up with the clone stamp tool. Option click where you want the target location to be, and then you scrub over the area that you want to replace. You do this to make sure the background looks not out of place and that any remains from objects you've cut out aren't visible and it looks like it's just been taken as a picture. So take all of this area out to make sure that the pavement and the background of the wall and the gate all look normal and in place. Make sure when you do the clone stamp tool, if you're doing it along any straight lines, you align it properly so it fits in. I've decided to extend this bushy shrub area along the whole scene because it makes it look cleaner. And then cut around this pavement layer with the polygonal lasso tool. Copy it, paste it so it's on its own layer. And then we have 3 layers separated on its own. Now onto the gate and the bush. For this one I used the pen tool just to show you another way of selecting it. So you go around as close as you can with the pen tool around your background. Make sure it's connected, and then click the mask button twice and it separates it onto its own layer. The exact same effect. Now we're going to click on this and we're going to remove the background through this gate to make it look as realistic as possible. This may be rough at first, but you can always go back and clean it up with the various selection tools and clone stamping. Clone stamping this bush to make sure that it looks in place, and then clone stamp one of the gate bits to make it look like it's coming through the bush. And here we go, we have this on its separate layer. It means we have all 4 layers completely separated from our background that you can also move forwards and backwards in After Effects to create the parallax effect, or for whatever use you have for these layers. Now we have it, we've gone from just a plain image of a roadside to all separated layers that you can use however you want.
That's the end of the video. Thank you for watching. If this tutorial helped you in any way, like it or share it to someone you think needs it. And yeah, peace.